achieved.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to Studio Day Heifer Day Quarantine. It's good to see you. Hold on, I got my camera a little jacked up here. We'll call it good enough. We're in a hurry today. I got the draft show on DallasCowboys.com coming up at 11:45 a.m., which is going to be a lot of fun. Talking draft, talking about the Cowboys. What I want to kick out there to you today, though, is a wild idea, and I just want to gauge people's reactions to this, because what a lot of people have been asking is, all right, what if the Cowboys stay where they are in the draft? They're at number 4 overall at the moment. And what if they stay there? But let's see, the top 2 right now, Trevor Lawrence to the Jets, Justin Fields to the Jags, or Zach Wilson to the Jags. Either way, quarterback. The Bengals would take Penei Sewell, the Oregon offensive tackle, because they need to protect Joe Burrow. And you're sitting there at number 4, and nobody wants to trade with you. Who do you pick? And that's where I just want to float this by you. I just want to run it by you. I want to see how mad you would be. Follow me down this road. We talked about this on the radio a little bit, and I think I talked about it with Vacha a little bit. What if they took a receiver? Would it drive you bonkers that last year they didn't need a receiver, but they picked one? And if this year the best player on the board again was a receiver? Because I think it's very possible. I don't trust any of the corners or any of the pass rushers in the top 5. I don't. I might trust Jamar Chase, LSU wide receiver, in the top 5. I'm just laying the groundwork because I think you have to be open to it. I'm not here for Team 70 burger. I'm not trying that. It's not what I'm going for here. I'm just asking the question, because what we have to realize is if you're picking in the top 5 in an NFL draft, it's incredibly important that you pick the best player available. Super important to pick the best player available. If you pick for need, you're setting yourself up to look back 2, 3, 4, and 5 years from now and going, what the hell did we do? Why were we so stupid that we reached for whatever position we needed instead of picking the best player? And then you're watching like Jamar Chase is with the Eagles and he's going to the Pro Bowl every year. And you're like, oh, he could have been on our team, but at least we got a guy who plays corner. That's cool. So I just want to throw it out there to you guys. What if they did that? And how that would work, I believe, is if you were stuck and you did take Jamar Chase, I don't want to do this because he's my guy, but you'd shop Michael Gallup. And you'd see what sort of mid-round pick you could get for Michael Gallup, because now you're running out Jamar Chase and CeeDee Lamb and Amari Cooper. But especially with the top 5 pick, I'm just letting you know, you cannot play games with that pick. You don't want to pick a developmental pass rusher or a corner that you have to draw it up. You have to draw it up as the team, right? Their grading scale. We'll use the Cowboys. 1.10 is a top of the first round guy, right? So let's say Trevor Lawrence, Justin Fields, Penei Sewell, Jamar Chase are all 1.10. And then the next guys down are 1.20 or 1.30. You don't skip down your board with the top 5 pick and pick an inferior player on purpose. It's stupid. So I'm just saying. I'm not saying. I'm just saying. I'm still Captain Trade Down. I'm Captain Trade Down. And maybe I will, as we keep going through this tape, fall in love with one of these guys. Maybe I'll come around on the idea that Micah Parsons you could pick in the top 5. But right now, I think the guy I feel the best about that's not Penei Sewell or one of these quarterbacks is Jamar Chase. So, and this is not just because I'm receiver guy. Yes, I want receivers all the time. But this time I didn't really think about it until I thought about being stuck at 4, which I don't want it to be. I'm Captain Trade Down, you know? I'm Captain Trade Down, and then in the first 2 rounds, because you'd have an extra 2, you could pick a corner or a pass rusher that you feel good about. Then you could pick a safety at the top of the second round. Then you could pick a corner or an edge, whichever one you didn't pick, there again in the second round. And then we cruise on through the draft with the rest of the picks and try to fix up that defense. Troy Williams, actually that was his question, is if Fields, Lawrence, Sewell is gone, who would you pick if you can't trade down? At the moment, I would pick Jamar Chase. Because you don't want to make a mistake. You don't want to have regret. You won't have regret if you pick the best player on the board. Thomas, hey, Jeff, would you compare Parsons to Miles Jack? Actually, I would. because Parsons has only played linebacker for 2 years. So you can tell when he's asked to do things in coverage and when it comes to consistently diagnosing plays and attacking that he has to develop in those areas. And Myles Jack was kind of the same thing, where they would move him all over the place to be a weapon on their defense. But that also meant that he wasn't coming into the NFL as a play Mike, play Will, play one of these linebacker spots and be great at it right away. He did have some development to do, and Myles Jack is currently one of the best linebackers in football. Could have been yours, by the way, number 34. Cyan, that's a super Cyan. Cyan? Elite dad. So if you're stuck there at 4 and take the Oregon tackle, do you move him like Martin, maybe to left guard, or do you move LC back to left guard? What's the best 5? Penei Sewell could play guard, and he'd be damn good at it. He's one of the best second and third level blockers I've seen. He's a really good athlete. He blocks really well when he's getting down the field. So he could absolutely play guard for the Cowboys. If you took Penei Sewell, I'd be okay with that pick in the top 5. I don't think he's getting past Cincinnati, though. But if you had him, I'd play him at left guard. Either that or you would talk about moving on from Tyron. But I would play him at left guard. And you'd have Tyron, Sewell, Biotish, Connor Williams Zach Martin, Lyle Collins. They moved Zach Martin to right tackle for 2 seconds, and I forget he's on the team. Zach Martin. Whew, that's a line. Biotish flanked by Sewell and Martin, and then Tyron and LC. Let's go. Cowboys Coffee Talk. Hi, Jeff. How do you anticipate the players taking a year off will be impacted in the draft? Do they fly under the radar or get overhyped? How comfortable are you with the Cowboys drafting some of these players, given they haven't played and developed for an entire year? This is a great question because think about it. Now, right now, we're talking about mock drafts and stuff like that, but some of the guys who seem to be the most valuable right now in the draft process are guys who didn't play this year. Micah Parsons, Penei Sewell, Gregory Rousseau, Caleb Farley. Those guys are being valued super high, even though none of them are sure things. Because when you've seen guys be really good at the age of 19 or 20 and then you don't get to see them again, you just keep thinking about the traits and the good things that you saw. Whereas if they took the field, maybe they wouldn't have progressed the way that you're hoping that they will. And maybe they could have hurt themselves. I actually think a lot of these opt-out guys are being helped in their draft stock by not playing. I really do. Because people are talking about Caleb Farley as a potential top 5 pick. And I don't think he's that on tape. But his potential is that. He is the guy in this class that I think has the potential to be a follow the best receiver and shut him down guy. But you watch him play Miami and Notre Dame, and you see the good. You see why you believe that. But you also see a guy who's getting beat. So I think a lot of the opt-out guys are being helped because you don't get to see, I didn't really progress the way that I hoped he would. All you remember is your early look at him where you're like, holy cow, Micah Parsons. Holy crap, that size-speed combination at linebacker, that's incredible. And you don't have to see, did he progress in diagnosing plays? Did he progress in how comfortable he is dropping into coverage? You don't get to see those things. You just go off the traits. And Dane Brugler, my buddy Dane Brugler from The Athletic will tell you, NFL teams aren't drafting players. They're drafting traits. And so you've shown the good traits. You don't even have to show the development. You just opt out. Ben Brown, Jeff, I want to know if you get stuck at 4 and didn't like your player options and couldn't find a trade partner, what's the possibility you could draft a quarterback, knowing Dak is our guy, just to trade him to another team for more picks? This has ever been done before. I floated that idea yesterday. I don't know if I'd actually have the stones to do it, but you're calling around and teams are like, no, we're not trading up with you. We're going to see if the quarterback makes it to us. And you go, crap, nobody will trade with us. Washington is going to see if their quarterback makes it to them. Denver is going to see if their quarterback makes it to them. Chicago is going to see if one of these quarterbacks can make it to 12 or 13. And then you just go, screw it, and you pick him. And then you call him back and go, what now, buddy? Would you have the stones? It's a hell of a bluff. Would you have the actual stones to do it? I probably wouldn't, but I support the idea. Cowtown, Texas. Can you rank the NFC East teams you hate the most to least? Just depends how good they are at the moment. When Eli was a Giant, I hated them the most. Now, Washington doesn't have anything to hate, so I don't hate them. Like, they got Antonio Gibson, and he's fun, and Alex Smith is the quarterback, and he's a great story. So they'll be the least. I hate Washington the least at the moment. Giants and Eagles. Carson Wentz is more hateable, but it's kind of funny what's happening to them right now. I guess I would say I hate the Eagles the most, the Giants second, and Washington third for the moment. All right, thanks for stopping by. I got to get ready to do the draft show on DallasCowboys.com. Make sure you're tuned in to 105.3 The Fan, the home of the Cowboys, 2 to 7, Monday through Friday. That's where you can hear me. And leave in the comments what you want to talk about tomorrow, and I will try to take care of you. I love you.